Here's something no fitness influencer wants to admit. The most effective training methods on the planet weren't invented in some Silicon Valley lab. They weren't discovered by a celebrity trainer charging $500 an hour. They came from Soviet strength coaches who had one job: build soldiers that didn't break. No machines, no mirrors, no hour-long gym sessions, just 3 exercises that trained the entire body: strength, endurance, and durability, all at once. And the wild part? You can do all 3 with a single kettlebell, at home, in under 30 minutes. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to have a full workout replacement in your hands, and you're going to understand exactly why it works. Let's get into it. In the next 8 minutes, here's what you're going to learn. Exercise 1, Exercise 2, Exercise 3. These aren't random exercises someone threw together. They follow a specific principle that Soviet coaches used to build functional, transferable strength, the kind that makes you better at everything, not just the gym. Exercise 1 is called the Around the World Kettlebell, sometimes called the hip halo. And I know what you're thinking. That looks way too easy. I thought the same thing. Then I tried it for 3 sets. My core was on fire in ways that planks and crunches never reached. Here's what's actually happening. You hold a kettlebell and pass it in a smooth circle around your hips or torso, switching hands behind your back. That's it on the surface. But your core is doing something most exercises never demand. It's anti-rotation. Not creating it, resisting it. This is called anti-rotation strength, and it's the exact type of core strength that protects your spine when you're lifting something heavy off the floor, sprinting, or carrying groceries up 3 flights of stairs. Your abs, your obliques, and your lower back all work together simultaneously to keep your body from twisting while the weight circles around it. That's full 360-degree core stability. Your shoulders also get trained here, not with heavy pressing, but with smooth, controlled movement under load. How to do it correctly. Brace your core like you're about to take a punch. Keep your arms mostly straight throughout the movement. Pass the kettlebell smoothly. No jerking. No launching the bell across the room. Switch hands cleanly behind your back and in front of your body. Start with a light kettlebell. Programming: 3 to 5 rounds of 30 seconds, roughly 20 smooth passes per round. Rest 20 to 30 seconds between rounds. After a few sessions, your core stops feeling like a soft pillow and starts feeling like armor. That's not a metaphor. That's the adaptation. Exercise 2 is called the Kettlebell Clean and Press. And if you had to pick just one exercise for the rest of your life, this might be it. Here's the concept. You lift the weight from the ground, catch it at your chest, and press it overhead. Ground to chest, chest to sky. That's the movement. But here's what makes it different from every other exercise in the gym. It uses what coaches call triple extension. Your ankles, knees, and hips all extend powerfully at the same moment. It's the same mechanical chain your body uses when you jump, when you sprint, when you do anything athletic. You're not isolating a muscle. You're training your body to produce and transfer force as one system. How to do it correctly. Set the kettlebell on the floor between your feet, shoulder-width stance. Hinge at the hips, not the back, and grab the handle. Drive your hips forward explosively, like you're trying to jump but keeping your feet planted. As the kettlebell rises, guide it toward your chest and catch it in the rack position, resting near your shoulder, elbow tucked close. From the rack, brace your core and press the kettlebell straight overhead until your arm is fully locked out. That's 1 rep. Your legs and hips generate the initial power. Your glutes, quads, and hamstrings act as the engine. Your core locks in as the weight moves upward, keeping your spine neutral. Your shoulders take over for the press at the top. And your heart rate? It climbs fast, real fast. After a few sets, your lungs will have a quick meeting with your legs about reconsidering your life choices. That's not a bug. That's the point. Strength and conditioning aren't separate in this movement. They're the same thing. Common mistakes. Pulling with your arms. Do not do this. Your arms guide the bell. Your hips are what launches it upward. If your biceps are burning, your technique is off. Catching with a loose posture. The rack position needs a braced core. If you're catching with a bent back posture, drop the weight. Going too heavy too soon. Start light. A smooth 5 is worth 10 sloppy reps every single time. Programming. Beginners. 4 sets of 5 reps. Rest 90 seconds between sets. Intermediate. 4 sets of 8 reps. Keep rest to 60 seconds and feel the conditioning effect kick in. Exercise 3 is the Deficit Kettlebell High Pull, and the word deficit is the key word here. Standing slightly elevated, on a small platform or a step, means the weight starts lower than your feet. That tiny difference forces your hips to hinge deeper, loading your hamstrings, glutes, and lower back through a greater range of motion. More range of motion under load equals more muscle recruitment. More muscle recruitment equals more strength developed per rep. Simple math with big results. Here's how you do it. Stand on a small platform, a weight plate, a step, or a low box. Doesn't need to be more than 2 to 4 inches high. Place the kettlebell on the floor between your feet. Hinge at the hips and grab the handle with a firm grip. Explode upward with your hips, that same hip snap from the clean and press. As the kettlebell rises, pull it toward chest height with your elbows driving high. Elbows above the bell, not the other way around. Control the descent. Don't let it drop. The lowering phase is where your grip and upper back get stronger. Your glutes and hamstrings fire hardest during the initial hip drive. These are the same muscles powering your sprint, your jump, your deadlift. Your upper back and rear shoulders work to guide and control the bell at chest height. Your forearms and grip are under constant tension on both the way up and the way down. And because the movement is fast and explosive, your cardiovascular system gets pulled into the conversation after just a few sets. No platform? No problem. You can hinge deeper without a platform instead. Just make sure your lower back stays neutral throughout. Common mistake. Yanking with your arms first. Same rule as the clean and press. Hips initiate everything. Arms are just the guide track. If you feel it mostly in your biceps, your hips aren't doing their job. Programming. Beginners. 4 rounds of 8 to 10 reps. Rest 60 seconds. For conditioning, 3 rounds of 15 fast reps. Shorter rest, keep it moving. For strength, 4 to 5 sets of 5 heavy reps. Longer rest, maximize load. Before we wrap up, here are the 3 mistakes that will slow your progress with all of these movements, and how to fix them. Mistake 1, skipping the hip hinge. Every single one of these exercises is powered by your hips. If you default to pulling or pressing with your arms, you're leaving most of the benefit on the table. Practice the hinge in isolation if you need to. It's the foundation of everything here. Mistake 2, ego loading. These movements require coordination and timing. A weight that's too heavy turns a clean movement into a dangerous grind. Start lighter than you think you need to. Get the mechanics clean first, then add weight. Mistake 3, neglecting rest. Because these exercises are explosive, your nervous system needs time to recover. Rushing through sets with barely any rest turns strength training into low-grade cardio. That's fine for one day, but not as your default. Here's a simple 7-day challenge you can start today. Days 1, 3, and 5. Complete all 3 exercises back-to-back. Around the World for 3 sets, Clean and Press for 4 sets, Deficit High Pull for 4 sets. That's your full workout. Done. Days 2, 4, and 6, active recovery. Walk, stretch, move. Let the adaptation happen. Day 7, test yourself. Compare your first session to your last. Pay attention to how your core feels during the Around the World. Notice how your hip drive improves on the clean and press. Feel how much more explosive your pull becomes on the high pull. 1 kettlebell, 3 movements. The same logic that Soviet coaches use to build strength that actually transfers to real life. And if this gave you something useful, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content is worth showing to people who actually want to train smarter.